Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lakara Bepes, and in today's tutorial I would like to take you guys through information literacy. So here we are going to discuss what information literacy is and the pillars of information literacy, and then again we're going to talk about the importance of information literacy, why information literacy matters in this digital era, and then we're also going to talk about the information life cycle, and then again we're going to talk about the stages of information life cycle. So back to the first question, which is what is information literacy? So information literacy is just the ability to recognize information that is needed and to locate, evaluate, and effectively use that information. And this definition was cited from the American Library Association. Now, the key point is just like thinking critically about everything you read, watch, or share. It's not about just finding information. So you have to think critically about what you have found out and what you have read or what you have watched. And then secondly, our next question is the pillars of information literacy. Now, the pillars of information literacy, we have four pillars of information literacy, which one is identification, like to identify. This simply means that to recognize, you need information, like you have to identify. Then the next one is find. Find is simply to know where to search effectively. Then to evaluate. Evaluate is to judge credibility, like the accuracy, the bias, and the timeliness of information. And then the last pillar is apply. This is to use information ethically and effectively. And then thirdly is why is information literacy important? Why information literacy matters in this digital age? First, we need skills to filter what matters due to information overload. And then secondly, doctors must evaluate medical research to make life-saving decisions. So a doctor must first prove that this information is right before actually going ahead to make a decision on how to treat a patient. And then thirdly, employers expect critical thinking and fact-based decisions. And this always applies in workplace. And then students also need credible sources for assignments and research. And then also we constantly need to learn new things about information literacy, which makes it possible. And then we also have the information life cycle. Now, the information life cycle is just the journey information takes from the moment it is created until it is archived, updated, or deleted. So why does the information life cycle matters? It helps us to understand where information comes from and shows us how information changes over time. It also teaches us how to evaluate information in context. And then stages of the information cycle. We have 5 stages of information cycle. The first one is the question. Like this is where information is created through sources like research and science, journalism, or even social media. And then secondly, dissemination. Now dissemination, this is just where information is shared, or simply how information spreads through channel like traditional media, digital platforms, and also social media. And then thirdly is discovery. Now this deals with how information is found using tools like Google Scholar, or AI tools. And then the fourth one is information use. This is just applying information ethically by applying the do's and don'ts of information. And then the last one is preservation. Now preservation is keeping information for future or for reasons like historical record. Yeah. And then we have this summary I have created for information circle, that is creation, storage, retrieve, research, and retirement. And then lastly, I have references of where I found this particular information about information literacy. Yes, I have my sources. These are my sources: Information Library Association of 2023, and then OpenStax 2025, UNESCO 2024, and World Health Organization 2025. Thank you. For more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my work.